Hi, I'm Dave Corry from Belchim Crop Protection Canada, and I'm the Manipulator Plant Growth Regulator rep. And we have Manipulator registered for use in wheat, and it's registered for winter wheat, durum, spring wheat, soft wheat, and all the wheats are registered. It is a plant growth regulator, and plant growth regulators are naturally occurring chemicals that will alter the hormones in the plant. And what the hormones do in the plant is they tell those cells how to grow or what to become. So my joke is that that's kind of how you can't plant a seed upside down, because the hormones will identify where the sunlight is, and they'll make the coleoptile grow up towards the sun, and they'll make the radicle or the root grow down away from the sun. So you got a good shot at growing a good crop when those hormones are working the way they should. Now, there are probably 5 different well-known hormones in the plant business, and if you looked at auxins, cytokinins, and gibberellins, they promote growth, and then there's abscisic acid and ethylene, which limit growth. So they each have a different way to work. They each work differently at different times in the crop. For example, in the apple industry, even though springtime, May, when you get those triplets of apples and there's 3 growing, but only 2 will make really good apples, one of the hormones will knock that 3rd one out, the middle one out, and it'll disappear. That same hormone later in the year will help those apples hang on so they don't drop to the ground and become juicing apples. Gibberellic acid, the one that we deal with Manipulator, is one that helps bring the seed out of dormancy. Then the production drops down a little bit, and then about the time that the stem starts to elongate, you'll see more gibberellic acid produced in the stalk, and it'll make those cells grow longer and make that stalk grow up to lift that plant off the ground. We've seen gibberellic acid sold in the grape business, for example. So if you look at wine grapes, they're growing in a tight little clump, and the grapes are probably as big as the end of my little finger. But if we spray those grapes with gibberellic acid, we can make the clump grow longer, give bigger space for the grapes, and you'll get a much larger table grape like at Christmas time. So with Manipulator, we're an anti-gibberellin. We help the plant to not produce as much gibberellin. When that happens, instead of the cells in the stem becoming this long, they may only become this long. And when they don't grow as tall, the cell walls thicken and they become stronger. So Manipulator is ideally sprayed on when that stem starts to elongate. And what it'll do is it'll give you a very strong, solid base of that plant to help reduce lodging. We can spray from the 2-leaf up to the flag leaf, but if we spray at the flag leaf, some of that growth is already there. So maybe your 1st and 2nd internode are already lengthened, but your 3rd and 4th get shortened. Now in my head, if that happens, we've still got long and lanky growth close to the ground. If a wind and rain pushes it over, could it kink here? And if it kinks here, will it ever come back up, or will it not allow moisture and nutrients to move up to the head? So that's why I like to apply this a little bit earlier, around growth stage 30 to 32, which is roughly 5-6 leaf stage, and then we're helping shorten and strengthen that foundation close to the ground. PGRs are a good option. They're not for every grower, and they're not for every acre. They need to be for someone who's already laying their crop down with heavy nitrogen fertilization or a lot of manure, or they have to be for someone that's worried about laying their crop down. If a farmer's not at that level, he probably would be better off to spend his money on fertilizer and boost that crop rather than just throw a PGR at it. We will help reduce lodging, but the real reason we sell this product is for harvestability. We want to make it easier at harvest time. We want to run less straw through the combine, maybe less diesel fuel through the combine, less wear and tear on the combine because we're going through more acres an hour of productivity. Nobody likes to pick up that crop that was flat to the ground on the 15th of July. So as long as we can help keep that crop standing up a little bit longer, it'll allow you to get a little bit more yield out of it maybe, and it'll make harvest easier. At that rate, you may be able to talk with your wife friendlier at the end of harvest.
Okay, and how about tank mixability?
Manipulator goes on anywhere from the 2-leaf to the flag leaf stage. A lot of guys will go on by itself as separate pass at that 5-6 leaf stage or growth stage 30 to 32, but it also goes on early, 3-leaf, 4-leaf with herbicide, or it goes on late, penultimate, and flag leaf with fungicide. It's mixable with almost everything. We've had very little problems mixing stuff. if I've got a rule of thumb for tank mixing, it is keep it simple. 1 or 2 products at the maximum, and keep your water volume up at 10 gallons of water to the acre. My biggest concern with this product would be adjuvant burn, and you can get adjuvant burn when you throw too many in the tanks or shave back your water volume. Well, here we are in a winter wheat field that was planted last September, and you can see the rows and how nicely this crop is filling in. This crop is in about the 6 to 7 leaf stage, roughly around growth stage 33. This is an ideal time for Manipulator, which goes from growth stage 12 to 39, so we're in good timing. But we'll pull a few plants and take them to the truck and see if we can get the proper staging on this field. And here's another plant out of this field. And when I start pulling this one apart, here's a coleoptile tiller, but you can see there's also another little tiller started inside that one. So that's the coleoptile tiller from below the crown. Then we've got a leaf and a tiller over here, so that's 1 leaf and 2 tillers if you want to call it that. 2 leaf and another tiller, 3 leaf, 4 leaf, 5 leaf when we're on to the 6th leaf. So we'll just strip this away. Strip it down to the main stem, because the main stem is what we want to count. And I'll take the knife and cut this off at the crown node. And then we'll split this stem. But you can see before we get into it that there's a node there, and there's something up in here. So here we are with the head of the plant. Lift that out, you can see the kernels in there. And we've got node number 1 down here at my thumbnail, or the knife, node number 1, and node number 2 right up in here. So this is really growth stage 32 or 33. So this is ideal timing for Manipulator. If we put it on at this time, this is when that stem is starting to elongate, and we will shorten and strengthen the 1st and 2nd internode and make that stronger as a plant.
If you have any further questions about Manipulator Growth Regulator, please give us a call at AgroPlus.